Welcome to Section C, Exercise 28. We're going on to the final 3 exercises now. And as I hinted at the end of the last exercise, we're really going to go for it. We're going to look at poetry and abstraction. And we're going to look at how when people write poetry using rhythm and composition and pattern and words and imagery, they then communicate an idea through that. We're going to be doing the same with our fundamentals, going right back to Section A, those 6 fundamentals: line, tone, shape, colour, composition and texture. And just to see how they can be used to communicate something similar. So in this exercise, exercise 28, we're going to start with a figure. And I've chosen a poem by Maya Angelou, I Still Rise. And with that, it's such a powerful poem that I wanted to see if I could capture that power of a strong person, a strong woman, and to actually put that into an abstract piece. And using the planning sheet, the fundamentals, and all the things that we've learnt so far in the course, I'm going to see if I can talk you through it as well. So with that, we'll go on to the planning sheet. And here we have Section C, Exercise 28, planning sheet, poetry and abstraction. So the poem that I've chose is Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. And every time I read it, it just absolutely stirs the emotions of oppressed people still being strong, still fighting back, still coming forward and rising and overcoming and being stronger. It is an amazing poem. And so I'm not going to go into picking the poem apart. I just want to concentrate on the feelings that it evokes in me. I can relate to certain parts of it, but there's certain parts of it I'll never be able to relate to from experience. But I can still understand what she's saying, if that makes sense. So, communication, rising above, strength in adversity, oppression, overcoming oppression, because it's more about rising. It is still I rise. It's being above, being more than. Those are the feelings that it gives to me. So from those, what I want to do is, how am I going to put that into abstract? And I'd still want to touch on the fact that it has racial connotations as well. So I don't want it to take away from that. I want it to be there, but in my own way. So the exploration, how I'm going to get that across in an abstract way is shapes that are larger at the top than they are at the bottom. Triangles, upside down triangles, or even like looping shapes, larger at the top, and then at the bottom is going to be, I want it to be quite a mess, and then these rising areas coming out of the bits underneath the mess, the bits underneath the... So colours, dirty colours, greys, grey, dull, dusty colours, and these are bright, saturated colours. So these are bright, saturated, and they're dirty, grey, dull, dusty, pale, insignificant colours. And it's, so I'm gonna see if I can get that across, the rising up out of it. I'm no Maya Angelou by any means. This is going to be difficult, but it's something that I want to have a go at, and all I'm doing is showing you the you know, the way I want to approach it. I'm sure when you have a go, yours will absolutely fly. Right, so there's my planning sheet done. I'm going to have a go on the next page now with having a go at some colours on backgrounds and things like that, and maybe do some stamps and stuff just to get some ideas of where I'm going to go with it. I'm also not going to use canvas. I'm going to put it on gessoed paper. I'm not actually sure why. It just, I don't want to put it onto a canvas. I want to put it, it's almost like it's something that I want to just put in a folder afterwards. Sometimes it can be personal thoughts that in an area that I'm not used to, like abstraction. I don't do abstraction very often. So to actually say, yes, this is my work, I'm going to put it out there. Paper is easier just to put in a folder. So these three, the next three abstraction ones are going to go. Just, I'm going to do them because it's part of this course that I want to show you what's possible. And then I'll be happy with that. Right, push yourself out of your comfort zone, I think. I'm going to carry on with that, and I'll see you in a bit. And here's the painting that I was going for. This is abstract from a poem, Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. It's got the feel of what I wanted it to, really. I think that's all you can expect in an abstract painting. You decide when it's finished, you decide what's in it. And I think once it's actually saying what you want it to say, or there or thereabouts, that's when it stops. I must admit, because I don't do it very often, I'm always sort of unsure of whether I have finished, I have actually said what I want to say. And I got the same with this one as well. But I think that's as far as I'm going to take it. It's funny, whilst I was doing this one, I did start to think of offshoots from it, what I would like to do next with it. What if I did it again, what would I change? If I could start it again, what would I do? And that's an interesting concept in itself, in that one starting point can lead you down a different path. And I don't mean just with the materials, I mean with sort of showing feelings, showing emotions, sort of describing elements of society, how you could do it with these bright, solid, coloured shapes with a bit of chaos in the background. So it was interesting. It was very interesting to do from a thought-provoking point of view as well. So that was exercise 28, looking at a figure, and this is women, especially oppressed women. I'm sure Maya Angelou were thinking of black oppressed women and how they can rise above it, how they can shine, how they can stand as they are. So that was my attempt at trying to follow that up. So the next one is going to be the poetry and abstraction again, and we're going to have a look at objects, still life. What tends to happen is objects are used almost like we've just done as a metaphor or a simile for something else. So finding the poem that really hits the spot with what you want to say or how you're feeling can take a bit of delving. I think that's the thing with these poetry ones, and abstract painting in itself. There's so much more thought process and research and experimentation before you actually start the painting that you're trying to communicate something with. It's very interesting, and for a subject that I don't claim to know a lot about, just grazing the surface has really made me think a lot. So it's a good thing to do. Right, so I'll see you in the next exercise. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.